And why did he make you so special? Why did he bless you? Think about it. I woke up this morning. Gonna smile when I say that shit. I woke up this morning. Go.
And we are live. Here, I'll put this right down here.
Mm-hmm.
So I originally met you from the Australians whenever they were going here.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Zach and Harry?
Zach, I remember. Those guys are crazy, man.
Were you closer? Here, I'll put the mic a little bit closer to you.
Yeah.
Did you get closer with Zach or Harry?
I would say I was just, they were both on the same level for me.
Okay.
Yeah, because at first I met Zach. You know, Zach is the outgoing one, always wanted to make friends with people. And
Zach,
yeah, he was like, you know, yo, come on, let's go eat together. You know, we were in Hutchins. Come on, let's go for dinner. And I just came along with him, and then I met Harry.
Okay.
So, but I feel like, you know, it was always the same. Whenever I see Zach, hey, where's Larry? You know.
Totally. Yeah, they moved like in a group, and everybody associated them together.
Exactly.
And they hated that. They hated that, dude.
So yeah, it was cool.
So have you met a lot of like international students going here?
Yeah.
Really?
Since I stopped staying in the dorms, I haven't really met a lot of the other, you know, international students, like people like Larry from Australia or some other country in Europe. But like Africans, you know, I always see them everywhere.
So are people from Africa, are they like different depending on the country?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Very different?
Yeah, when I hear an African talk, I can tell pretty much what part of Africa he's from.
Like what part, as in like you can tell what state, or you can tell like, oh, he's up north, or he's on the east.
Yes,
okay.
I can tell if the person is from North Africa or South Africa or West Africa.
Okay.
Know, or East Africa.
That's crazy to me.
By the, like, sometimes by the look you can even tell.
Okay.
But it's not like, it's like that's hit and miss, you know. That's like hit and miss, but you can also tell from the looks.
Where was your other buddy? Sorry to cut you off. Where was he from? Dude, he is huge,
Taiwo,
man.
Yeah, he's from Nigeria too.
Okay, that's what I thought. I wasn't positive.
We're from the same country.
Did you guys know each other back home, or did you meet here? He is big. You're a big guy, but he is like huge, man.
No, he's a fucking monster, man.
He is.
I know.
Fucking huge. Is he fast?
I mean, yeah. I've not really watched him play football because every time, like all through the semester, I've been working weekends. So whenever they have a game, I'm at work.
Okay.
You know, and last semester, I was watching football games, but he wasn't playing because he was injured for the year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
so he came here to play football?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He came here, you know, went through high school, some part of high school, college, playing football. So good for him. You know?
What's like the dominant sport in Nigeria?
Come on, you should know that by now.
Is it soccer?
It's soccer, man.
Hey!
You should know that by now.
Okay.
Soccer is like, you know, when I go to the field, people see how, you know, because I'm a big dude. And they be like, you know, you're not supposed to play soccer. And I'm like,
soccer. Well, we went up to the fields and played that one day.
Yeah, soccer is all like we play back home.
Okay.
So there's no other sport except
What position
soccer.
are you?
I can play. My favorite position would probably be center back, because I like to.
I got my water over here. Oh, okay. I'm still listening.
Yeah, because I like to just sit back and like read the game, and then I like to pass the ball. So I like to be, you know, center backs are like, they are like in a position of comfort, and they stay from the back, not so much pressure, and then they distribute the ball.
So you can read the game pretty well?
Mm-hmm. So I like to play center back so that I can just sit back and read the game and give a pass.
That's cool.
And I like to play long balls, so that's why I like to play center back so that I can give a looping ball.
Right.
From behind, you know.
So you get the vision, yeah. That's what I like about center back as well, is you kind of, you anticipate the attackers, but then you can also, like, once you stop them and you whenever you're not on the ball, whenever your team's attacking, you kind of get the vision of where everybody else.
Exactly.
Totally,
you see everything.
totally.
So if you can pick a pass from center back, you can, you know, you can just take a pass all the way over, skip everyone.
Yeah,
to the attacker.
That's honestly the difference between a good center back and a decent center back. You know, like the ones that are able to help out the attack as well. That's a well-rounded. Those are the best. I mean, Sergio Ramos. Are you a fan of Sergio Ramos?
Yeah, he's very good.
He's amazing.
I don't like him because there was this season where he was supposed to come to Manchester United and he was trolling us.
Are you a Manchester United fan?
I love
Same.
Manchester United.
Same.
He was trolling us. He was never gonna come, but he was like trolling us for a new contract at his club. So there was speculation saying, "Oh, he's gonna join Manchester United," and I was getting all excited. And next thing we know, he signs a new contract, a bumper deal, huge. Like he got a huge pay rise. So I felt like he just used us. He just used Manchester United as a means to like get a better contract for himself.
Okay.
So that shit really pissed me off. But he's an excellent defender.
No, absolutely.
He's excellent.
And an attacker. Like he's a clutch. Like in the box on corners, he is probably the most clutch.
Yeah.
Maybe just in general in the entire world. Honestly, like attackers and defenders. Honestly,
No, he's good with the head.
Oh yeah.
He can attack the ball. I know that. Like, he's very. Real Madrid have like the players that everyone wants to have in their team. Like the Holy Grail.
They've been the team for the past few years. I mean, they've won the Champions League the past
Twice.
few years.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's crazy.
No one. In recent times, no one has won that competition like consecutively because of how difficult it is. You play with the best teams. And they did it. So it's.
So wait, what's the name of? Because you were telling me last time. Because we talked in the library. We ran into each other for the first time this year, actually.
True.
A few weeks ago. And you were telling me that the rainforest in Africa is like you've been there before. It's by your house, right?
Okay, what else? This is how it is in Africa.
Wait, I got a globe.
Oh, good.
We got a globe, baby.
Good. So
here we go.
So you see this center line?
Yeah. Is this the equator?
This isn't accurate, but if you Google on your phone, you probably, like, whenever it says 0 degrees, that's where the equator is. I don't know, like, I can't really see it on here. Okay,
it says equator right here with this.
Okay, this line.
Yeah.
So, exactly. Okay, this is it. 0 degrees equator.
What's this cup?
So everything on here, like, there's a range. Let's say the range is this big, and everything within this range is what you call the rainforest, the tropical rainforest of the world. That's why within this range, that's why you see the Amazon in Brazil. Right. In this range. And the range also cuts across on Nigeria. This is where Nigeria is.
So I know in the Amazon, it's like a real problem right now. Like we're cutting down for agriculture so that we can produce more cows and produce more meat. And is that a problem over in Africa as well?
No, it's not. It's not really a problem in Africa because in Brazil, the Amazon, that's huge. That's the center of the rainforest. It's not as much as it is in Nigeria. Okay. So like with Nigeria, you have.
I know that's the most notorious one.
Yeah, that's like huge. Nigeria. You see this. Nigeria, like if you divide Nigeria in like 3 parts, you get this side is where you have a lot of the rainforest where they go to cut the timber and stuff. Right. So towards the middle, it gets dry. Towards the middle part of the state, this whole place, it fluctuates just like Missouri. It fluctuates between hot and cold depending on how the wind blows and everything. Then up here,
I know about that Missouri weather.
Up here is fucking dry, man.
Really?
Everything up here is so dry. And you see this is Niger. This is like a desert area.
All of Niger is?
Yeah, not like all of Niger, but there's a desert separating Niger and Chad and Nigeria. These 3 places. So it's called the Sahara Desert. It's just around this area. So the wind from the Sahara blows into Africa. Really? It blows into Nigeria, and that's why this place fluctuates between hot and cold.
I bet that gets intense. I bet those winds, like, do you know?
It's dry. Right. It's like when you breathe it in, you can cough. That's how dry it is. because I've been to like the northern part of Nigeria only once. And when I went, it wasn't like the summer, so it wasn't as not like the summer, but you know, it wasn't during the extreme weathers in Nigeria, because the extreme weather in Nigeria is during the winter time in America.
Okay.
Like when you guys have winter, that's when our weather is like extreme.
Right.
So this place I went to, the place I went to is just right on the border of Nigeria, and when I went there,
The border between Niger or between Chad?
No, the border between Nigeria and Chad, right around here. It's called Borno State.
I keep personifying Chad as like a douchey guy. I don't know why.
But it's a very
like
dry
a douchey
state.
guy with like, he pops his collar.
So yeah, like when I went there, it was like during the fall season, right now, like before winter, during the fall. So it wasn't as terrible. But whenever you feel the wind, it's always dry and, you know, and very, very dusty.
Okay.
And sometimes, you know, the hot wind blows all the way across the country to the southern part.
Really?
Yeah, to the southern part. You know?
So how do you have to wear like a face mask to prevent the dust, or?
I mean, people over here have to. Some people over here, like, let me tell you how it is. You know, these people have lived all their lives in this condition, so they're basically used to it.
Okay.
You know, so some of them might not need a face mask, but I know that, you know, back home, some people would put like a handkerchief, you know, on the nose and try to cover their nose. I've never seen anyone.
Well, I'd be worried about my eyes as well.
Wear a face mask, you know.
Yeah, just like I wear like a paintball thing. Have you ever been paintballing before?
Yeah, I've never been paintball, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay,
like
okay.
a face.
That would probably prevent it pretty well.
But I just need it. It's not like the weather isn't as bad as like in Saudi Arabia, where there's like, you know, I don't know if you've seen one of those movies they did in Dubai. I can't remember where there was like a huge gust of wind. I think it's Tom Cruise's movie. Tom Cruise has.
Is it older or newer?
Newer. He has like Tom Cruise has a bunch of movies he always does. I can't remember the name.
Honestly, I'm not very familiar with Tom Cruise movies. I know he's like the pinnacle of stars, like in general.
Yeah, he has a like, he always makes, I can't remember the name of the movies he always makes, like consistently.
Probably movies about Scientology.
It was like action. I can't really remember the name, but in one of those movies there was like, it was in Dubai, and at a point it was like a desert storm coming in, and it was crazy.
Really?
So
well, I bet the Middle East gets even worse.
Yeah, that's what exactly. You see, all the way up, it gets dry.
Right.
You know, the Middle East is so dry because of they're away from the equator. You know, the equator is where the rainforests are, all around here. You know, but and I feel like the more you get towards the edge of the world, like towards this side, the cooler it gets, because in South Africa,
absolutely,
it's much colder. You will like it there.
Really? Like South Africa?
Yeah, you will love South Africa because the temperature is, some parts of South Africa is hot, but some parts of South Africa is so cool. It feels like a temperate region, you know.
Really?
Yeah, especially the parts that.
Yeah, that is pretty far south.
Exactly, you know. So the farther north you go, all these places are like freaking hot.
So
man.
what do you think about the humidity of Missouri? This is a pretty humid state.
Yeah, I mean.
Do you like it, or?
It's the problem I have with it is because I lived in Lagos, and where I lived, I'm not really accustomed to. I mean, there's heat. Like Lagos is hot,
right?
But this place is like hot and irritating at the same time. Sometimes
you said it's hot and it irritates.
Yeah, sometimes it irritates me. Like, you know.
Oh, your skin,
you can
like
feel
it's
it. Yeah, you can feel it in your skin.
Oh.
You know, you can feel how hot it is in your skin. I mean,
so I know, like where it's like really hot, like the Middle East, they got to cover any exposed skin. Is it kind of the same there?
Well, I don't really know. I've never been to the Middle East before.
Oh, I meant like in Africa, in Nigeria.
Oh, you mean like in the northern part? Yeah, the sun is
you got to
very
cover.
Similar. Like actually, the northern part of Nigeria is occupied by mostly Muslims.
Oh, really?
So they also do the same thing. You know, it may be because of their religion.
Do the cultures clash?
Something. I mean, yeah. Like there's always a little bit of tension in Nigeria. You know, I don't know if you've ever heard of Boko Haram.
Heard of what?
Boko Haram. It's
Never heard of that.
It's just like, you know, Al Qaeda or one of these extremist groups.
Oh, really? So it's like a branch of, like another ISIS
and stuff, exactly. But I mean, in recent times they've been removed from Nigeria. Like they've all fled to the northern parts, like mostly Niger, Chad, and I think some part of Cameroon.
Okay.
So, yeah, but there's always a little bit of tension.
Is sex trafficking bad there? Or was it bad whenever they were there?
Well, yeah, it was bad. There was this one time they kidnapped like 100 and something kids. Like they went to, you know, in the northern part of Nigeria, they always have schools. And these schools are like all girls schools, all boys schools. So they went to an all girls school and they kidnapped like a whole class of like 100 and something girls.
Dude, that'd be traumatic for the rest of your life. Like, regardless if you live or die.
It was bad.
Oh my goodness, nobody deserves to go through that.
It was horrible. A bunch of them, so according to what we had, got pregnant. You know, it was just a horrible, all-around horrible situation. You know, so there's always tension. But we that live in the South, we never really.
It gives me the chills, man. Mm-hmm. That's repulsive.
It's horrible.
That sucks. Like, could you imagine, like, bearing labor to another man that just raped you?
It's bad.
That's terrible. That's as bad as it gets, man. Actually, my mom was born in Tripoli, Libya.
Really?
Yeah, because my grandparents were I don't know exactly where in Italy, but they were up in Italy because my grandpa was a spy for the U.S., and I think he was spying on Russia, I want to say, during the Cold War. And he tested in to the top half of the 99th percentile for whatever this, like he would basically hear Morse code, like the beep, boop, 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 beep, beep, hear that in, type it out, and like pretty much translate it, and then somebody else would come from another room and rip the paper off. So he said like times would get really tense, and like somebody like he might be typing out and kind of knows what's going on, and then somebody runs in, grabs the paper, runs back to the other room. But that'd be crazy to live during the Cold War like that, especially being a spy. That's insane.
You'd be scared for yourself, man.
But for whatever reason, they had to give birth, or my grandmother had to give birth. Not they. My grandmother had to come down to Tripoli, Libya, for some reason to give birth. Hey, yeah.
Well, it doesn't look too far, though.
I know I've had a few friends go to Morocco. I don't know much about Morocco, but like I've had friends study abroad over in Europe, and then they always end up going to Morocco.
Yeah, that's probably because it's so close.
Okay.
You know? Like most of North Africa, most of the people in North Africa always end up going to Europe because of how, you know, the proximity is so close to each other, you know.
That would be a cool culture. I mean, I don't know much about Morocco, but like you get the African culture, but then there's a sense of European distilled within them as well. It's like I'd assume it's a kind of culture clash that works in harmony together, like in its own way.
I think so too. Like
kind of found its equilibrium between the two.
Yeah, I think so too. Because I've always heard sometimes like it's a little bit better in North Africa. You know, even when you look at the disease rate and everything.
Really?
Yeah, the standard of living is a lot better in North Africa compared to West Africa.
Okay.
So it's
kind of a shame, honestly. Like, it's the world we live in, though.
Libya is a very I mean, in Africa, it's one of the leading places to be, you know. So it's a lot better than.
Just out of curiosity, what's your biggest complaint about Americans, or like our culture, or something you picked up on? I will not get offended. Say whatever you want. Like something that you just don't like about Americans, like just a complaint.
Probably the food.
Food?
Yeah.
That's what the Australian said too. Like Zach was getting sick all the time, man. Like he'd eat that at the dining hall here and just be up in the toilet for like hours. And I never understood that. Is it just lower quality?
It's not really quality. It's just like
It's
like high caloric and it's like too much oil, and like what especially people like Zach, he's probably accustomed to like Mediterranean diet and stuff.
Oh, and that's more like lean, right?
Mm-hmm. And like
more vegetables, probably.
Exactly. Back in Africa, we lean towards eating rice, beans, not a lot of meats.
Really?
Yeah,
your
not as
protein
much
comes
meat.
from the beans?
Huh?
Your protein
our
comes
proteins come from beans.
Okay.
Maybe eggs. I mean, we eat meats too in Africa, but not as much as you guys.
Yeah.
Meat is it's like a food here.
Well, it's a virus, honestly. I mean, that's a problem. That's the exact problem with why all the cows, and we were just talking about earlier with the Amazon and why they're tearing it down. And also cows, whenever they burp, they create something called methane, which is like, I think it's CH4, which is the equivalent of like, I don't remember. I'm going to butcher this for sure. But it's the equivalent of like 28 carbon dioxide molecules. Wow. Like it basically in short, it's much worse for the environment. Like one molecule of methane is much worse for the environment, like much worse than just one of or the equivalent of, I don't know. I
think you're right.
You get the point, right?
I think methane is one of the greenhouse gases that they're trying to reduce.
What is it? Methane?
I think it's part of the greenhouse gases that, the greenhouse gases, they're trying to control the number in the environment so that we can sustain the environment. I'm not so sure, but I think so too.
And it's definitely not working together. I mean, something like the rainforest that creates so much oxygen for the world and for Brazil. And then you're cutting down those trees that are creating oxygen and replacing them with more methane from the cows.
Yeah.
Kind of ironic.
This is crazy, but
Yeah, it's a crazy world we live in, man. You're a lot more well traveled, I'm sure, than I am. I've only been in the U.S. I've been to Jamaica when I was like 2, but my goal is to visit 30 countries by my 30th birthday. So I'm 22 now.
So you have 8 years, man.
I got 8 years, and I'll probably knock it out in like 1 or 2 or 3 or something. If I had to guess, I'll probably hit a lot of countries. I'll probably hit Europe and hit like 15 in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, no. If you get to Europe, you easily cover like 5, 6, 7 countries.
Totally.
Like 2, 3 days or something, because they're so close to each other.
What's a continent you would want to go to? Like so you've been to the U.S., you've been to Africa.
Mm-hmm. I'm from Africa.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's actually Europe. I don't even need to think, because I've always it's just like America is like the holy grail when it comes to getting the best education, and getting quality stuff when it comes to quality of education here compared to every other place.
Are you grateful? Are you extremely grateful to be here?
Oh yeah,
I can only imagine.
Since I came here, opportunities has been opening up for me, even though it's not that easy, but still I can't complain, And I've been doing better for myself since I came here.
You're a hard worker, man. You're a hard worker with school. I respect it.
So I like it here. It's cool, and there's like a lot of like Europe is just the only thing I don't like about America is the time difference.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Because we're back in Nigeria, we share very similar time difference with Europe.
Okay, yeah.
So
yeah.
it's so much easier for me to watch my European soccer and everything.
Totally.
And then I come here and I have to watch my soccer in the morning. I mean, I'm adjusting, but that's just if I can
It's
say,
a slow
okay, can I change something? That's what I'm gonna change.
Right.
But it's always nice. It's a different culture, you know.
Yeah, because the EPL games are typically like Saturday mornings, right?
Exactly. And like over there, it's like Saturday evening.
Okay.
Back home, we want to sit down and open a can of beer and watch a soccer match in the night.
Right.
Just chill with your buddies.
What do you think? What's the difference between like beer here? Like, is it better quality beer here, or do you prefer African beer
Oh man.
or Nigerian beer?
Me, first of all, I'm not a beer person, but
Me neither.
the beer you guys have here, the ones I've tasted,
You've probably, if I
like
had to
light.
guess, being in college, you've probably had, I'd assume, Natty Light, Bud Light, Budweiser.
What's the other one?
So to be fair,
Cool, something like that. Cool something.
oh, I'm a terrible person to ask with like familiarity of beers.
I mean, I've tasted a bunch.
I hate how bloated beer makes me feel. Like I don't enjoy that.
I don't really have. It doesn't. I have to. I probably have to drink so much for it to have an effect on me. Like it just tastes.
How much do you weigh?
I'm like 260.
Okay. How tall are you?
63.
6'3". Wow. Yeah, you got a good build too.
So I have to drink so much alcohol, like so much beer before I can feel like it. I don't even like it, man. Like back home, beer back home is a lot stronger than the beer here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this one
Why's
here
that?
tastes like water. I don't know why it's too light.
What do you think that is?
I don't know.
That's weird.
I honestly don't know. Maybe they want you guys to buy
More, so you're drinking more.
so you can drink more. Because back home, there's some type of alcohol back home. All I just need to give you is just a bottle, a big bottle. You just have a go at it. You know, if you finish that and then you think
You'll feel it. You'll feel it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, you take like 1, 2, you feel it. But here you have to drink like 5, 10 cans before you can even start feeling the effect.
And it's not even that like I like that instant gratification. I did when I was younger, but now I've matured a little bit, and I'd say if there's anything I like my go-to drink, as of lately, it's been wine. Do you fuck with wine at all?
Oh yeah, I mean, I drink wine, but I'm not really a wine person. Me, I just like vodka. Just give me vodka. Give me an energy drink, Red Bull or something.
Right.
Soda. I'm good.
So you like vodka Red Bull?
Oh yeah.
What about what?
That's
Jaeger bombs. Yeah, you probably Jaeger bombs.
Yo, that shit is.
You don't like Jaeger bombs?
I mean, I would do it, but man, that shit is. I don't.
It's strong.
I don't like rum because all rums are like they're on a different level. And the aftertaste. I like the aftertaste of vodka because. Vodka is clean, exactly. It's
very
clean. So whenever you put like a soda or Red Bull, you instantly taste. It's just like you're drinking alcohol.
Like vodka Sprite.
Exactly,
yeah.
vodka Sprite. You just taste the Sprite and then the alcohol is going down. It's like a perfect mix.
Yeah.
But with rum, you take it in and you have a bad aftertaste. I don't like the aftertaste of rum.
You know what I like about vodka as well? Now you kind of get this with a lot of hard alcohol, but like the after feeling of the shot, like the internal feeling, it just like overcomes you.
The heat.
I love it. I love that. It's probably doing just terrible things to you internally, but it feels good.
It does. I mean, and whenever the weather is cold like this, you appreciate the heat more.
Right.
When the weather is cold, it goes down and you like it, So.
Yeah. Wait, is there any like spot in the U.S. that you plan on visiting?
Oh, just many, man.
A lot. Have you been to Cali?
No.
Really?
See, I have my goal is to do like a tour of America first.
Dude, you can do it, man. I traveled with the Australians. I don't know have I told you this?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So pretty much from St. Louis all the way to San Francisco, hitting everything in between, like all the national parks, Denver, Colorado Springs, Albuquerque, San Diego, Vegas, Los Angeles, San Fran, like all of those, including the plane ticket. I did that on like $1,300.
Oh.
And so, like, dude, you can make it. And I didn't have a car. If I would have had a car, if we would have had a car, it would have been significantly lower too. Like you can do it, man. You can totally do it. Like if money is the reasoning holding you back, just save up $2,000 and you can totally do it.
Well, I didn't the time that you guys were going. Zach asked me, but then I didn't really have the money.
Right.
But
I didn't have the money either, to be honest with you, man. I just made it work. Which I'm not saying you do or don't. Your situation's different than mine, but like, yeah, you can totally do it. You can do it.
No, I know I'm gonna do. I just need to find the time because every time
after college,
probably when I graduate, because I always have something going on all year. And the only time I don't have shit to do is during Christmas. By then it's so fucking cold. I don't even want to be out.
Like you don't want to hit like New York in the Christmas time.
No way.
Yeah.
That place is horrible.
Yeah, it's too
horribly cold.
That would suck, or even like Boston or anything like that. Nah.
So that's why I just have to find a very perfect summer to do it, so that I can actually enjoy what's out there. But I'm definitely, I know that, within a couple years, I don't even want to go to Europe because I need to go to Manchester.
Manchester?
I just need to, I keep saying one of these days I'm just going to pack my bags and just go there for a weekend, watch a game, come back or something.
Totally. And actually, I just bought this book. I literally just this weekend brought it back down here. Mm-hmm. But it's called Vagabonding. I don't know the premise of it too much. I heard about it in a podcast. No, I read about it in a book, another book, and the guy recommended it. And this guy basically is a profound traveler. I don't remember his name, but he's been all around the world. And he said that he always took this book with him. And it's pretty much like a practical guide to traveling with very little money. I haven't read it yet personally, so I can't. I've heard very good things about it after I looked into the reviews as well. You're more than welcome to borrow it if you'd like.
Sure. I mean, yeah, I will. That's definitely something. I actually watch these videos. Top 10 places to travel with less. That's cheap places to travel to where you can get, good good worth for your money and stuff.
Right.
And I always watch all that stuff.
What were some of the some of the places you could go to?
Belcrest, Switzerland, a bunch of places around. Most of them are around Europe.
Really?
Yeah, but I think India is also one of the cheapest places if you're into
probably a lot of Asia too.
Yeah, if you're into Asia. India is probably a very cheap place to go where you can actually.
I met a girl recently who traveled. I forget. I didn't ask her. I met her one night. I haven't seen her since, and so I didn't really want to ask her how much she spent. But it seemed extremely cheap. But she went to every country over in Asia, and she said the conversion rate for Vietnam is just insane. $1 will get you so far. It's 68,000 or something.
That's exactly where I'm driving at. Because of the currency differences. So it's a lot cheaper if you have maybe $1,000 or $2,000, and you change that to the Indian, rupees or something. Mm-hmm. You get more money. And it's a lot cheaper for you to travel there.
That's what's appealing to me about those countries is the only reason I would ever go to I'm a lot more attracted personally to a place like Europe, but I think it'd be really cool to go to Asia because you could like you said $2,000 could get you all over Asia. I'm assuming it could get you all over Asia. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know about all over Asia, but that's gonna get you a very good vacation,
Totally.
For an extended period,
And you would learn so much. Mm-hmm. You would learn so much.
But that's the thing. You just have to have a passion for maybe something in Asia. Me, I don't really. Asia is not really my strong suit of a place there.
Really?
I mean, it's okay, but I want Europe is the place for me. That's
I agree.
Is the place for me. I don't know
Manchester.
what country in Asia. I mean, China. I don't really fancy Asia, if I'm being honest. It's just.
I honestly, I didn't really have much attraction to it until literally that 15-minute conversation with this girl, like, changed my entire perspective, and I was like, I'm going there. I'm going to Asia at some point in my life, like. But I get what you're saying. Like, it doesn't seem too appealing, but
it's
the culture shock would be insane.
Yeah, it would be crazy.
So much different.
Especially for you, because you're like, you're American. You haven't really been to, like, other countries. Like, the culture change will be huge, too, for me, but it's not really something that I'm not accustomed to. I know that if I go to China, the food is not going to be so different from what we eat, because we all grow rice,
Right.
In Asia, in Africa, we all grow rice. They eat a lot of rice in China, In India, too, the same, Even Indians are very close with Africans because we use very similar spices for our food.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The other day I went to an Indian restaurant and I was, like, shocked with the kind of food that they had, because it was so similar.
Really?
It was so similar to this kind of shit that I would eat,
Wow, they're not even close either. See, my attraction with Asia would probably be, number one would be Japan, but Thailand would be cool, China. I'm assuming the conversion rate with Japan really isn't that significant.
No, it's going to be almost the same.
Yeah.
If not more. But I don't know why you want to go to Japan. Like, all they have is, like, industrial shit. They don't really have, like...
Really?
I don't know if they will have, like, stuff that you can see and all that.
I don't know much. But, like, I'd assume... I've seen pictures of Tokyo, and it looks really cool.
I mean, it's like a business place. Like, everything going on crazy.
Very fast-paced.
Yeah, that's what I think. If I would go to Asia, it's probably going to be Thailand.
Okay. Yeah. Thailand does seem cool. I started doing Muay Thai this summer, which is a form of martial arts, and that derives from Thailand. Like, Thai, it's in the name.
Mm-hmm. Thailand, Malaysia.
I wrote a book about this guy from Japan. I forgot his name, but he was fighting some war, and he ended up, like, camping out in this place for years after the war was over, thinking the war's still going on. He would just hang out, like, in the woods and like attack people, basically.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh, well.
Yeah, but then he ended up coming back to Japan, like, years later, and he, like, hated what Japan had turned into, because, like, the Japan that he was fighting for, that he spent his entire life fighting for, that a war that wasn't even going on, was, like, a very, like, noble, very traditional Japan, and then he came back and it, like...
It changed.
Yeah.
Industrial.
I didn't realize there was such a quick transition. I think this was in the early 1900s to, like, maybe the 40s or the 50s, something like that.
I think after the Hiroshima or whatever bomb that was released there.
Yeah, that probably changed it.
Huge turnover. Everything changed.
It's crazy that, like the country that I live in, the country I love, like, went out of they dropped a nuke on another country. That's crazy. Like, that's crazy that humans do that to each other. It's also crazy to think that there's somebody smart enough to make an atomic bomb, and then there's somebody dumb enough to actually use it.
Sure.
It's a paradox.
It's a huge one, because I'm like, why do you have to kill other people? It's just, man.
I'd love to imagine a world without war, but realistically, it's just not. like realistically, there will probably be a massive war in our lifetime. I mean, if you ask most people, they're probably going to tell you the same too. It's not even that I'm an optimist. I'm definitely an optimist, but I don't know. It sounds pessimistic.
I definitely don't want to stay in Canada.
Not in Canada?
Too cold, man. Too cold. I only just realized now that, like, America is so further up. Like,
it's so what?
America is even close to like to the extremities of the earth. So that's why some part of it is cold. If that makes any sense. That's why
It gets really cold up
yeah.
north. Absolutely.
And I guess that's why Mexico is so hot, because it's even closer to that region.
Does the Tropic of Cancer go through Mexico? Yeah, it does. Yeah, Mexico is extremely dry, from what I've been told. That's not really a country I have much interest in either. I think I've already asked you this, but so I know whenever you go from like the U.S. over to Africa, you have to get a lot of shots. Is it the same, like vice versa?
Okay, like if you are an American and you're going to Nigeria or to Africa, you have to get shots. You have to get the shots that are going to prevent you from getting the disease. Let's say, for example, hepatitis C. There's a hepatitis C antivirus that they give to you as a form of preventing you from having the disease when you go to Africa. So when you take it here, you go to Africa, all you just have to do is stay away from the, from, I think hepatitis C is transferred by food. Just adhere to the preventive instruction and you'll be good. But when you're coming back, they're not going to give you like a vaccine or something. What they're going to do is test you to see if you got any disease. So they will try to treat you before re-entering into the United States.
Okay.
So that's just basically how it works.
So they're just preventing it from it spreading into the United States. Yes. Okay, that makes sense.
Because the huge way diseases spread is through across borders,
Yeah, totally.
Immigration and people traveling here and there. You just pick a disease here, you travel here, spread it out, So.
Yeah, that'll spread real quick. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that was a big concern with down in South Africa with like the Zika virus or whatever. Like that was
that was exactly how Ebola spread in Africa. A doctor that was working on Ebola patients traveled.
One person?
Yeah, he was working on Ebola patients in a different country, and then he traveled to Nigeria. A patient or like an individual. He traveled from a country where there was Ebola to Nigeria. And he got sick. Some of the people in the aircraft that he was with that attended to him got sick. The patient, the nurses and the people that treated him, some of them got sick and died. I think the doctor that treated him died, stuff like that. So
really?
All it takes is just one mistake.
Yeah.
One mistake.
It's so easy to slip up too.
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to get out of here soon?
Yeah.
You wanna end it now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's totally cool. Oh, that was 42 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
That was a good conversation, dude. I'm happy with it. And dude, you're always welcome back. And we should do this more often. Honestly, I enjoy talking to you, Victor.
I just have to find like some time,
Yeah, I feel that.
When like everything be like the situation will be good, so that I can just come around and chill with you guys,
Absolutely. You're always welcome over too, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, man. At least now I know your place, and I'll always stop by. You let me know.
It's walking distance from campus, yeah.
Exactly. I didn't even know it was this close. You let me know. Hey, we're having something going. You want to stop by? I'll stop by.
Totally. We've had a lot of like tailgates here. Like we'll throw like an all day party. Like we wake up at like 5:30 a.m. or they do. I usually sleep until like 6:30. Sleep in. But yeah, and they'll start like crazy early. But I sleep in so that I don't pass out as early into the day.
True. I mean, yeah, you can always let me know. Me, I'm very.
The camera just went on, actually.
Ooh.
It'll still pick up on here. It's not a big deal.
Okay. Yeah, I probably walk a lot. But just let me know if I can make it. I can make it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It was nice talking to you, man.
Here we go. That's the end. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.